Hello guys, Bike Trash Man here. Today I thought I'd do something different. Since the 80th anniversary of Thomas the Tank Engine, or Thomas and Friends, whatever you want to call it now, since it came out, the 80th anniversary, they released the pilot recently a few weeks ago or something like that. It's been out for a while now. I decided I wanted to show off my collection of the Take and Play or Take Along Thomas and Friends trains that I've collected over the few years. I started collecting these way back, 2006, 7, somewhere around there. So I don't have all of them, but I have a few engines in my collection, and I thought I'd just show off my collection. So start off with the first one here. We have Thomas. Now this Thomas, like I said, I have done a lot of modifications to with fixing eyebrows because the original eyebrows are completely faded off, and I added little windows when I was younger to this guy, and I thought he was pretty good. Overall, he's in pretty kind of okay shape. He's got some really bad scuffs there and here and there, as you can see, but he's still maintained most of his paint, which is really good, to be honest, in my scene. And this is my only copy of my Thomas, and this is the 2002 model. From what I'm seeing here, at least I don't know how long they've kept selling these, but yeah, I've had it since probably since 2007, 8, somewhere around there when I've had these. But yeah, so this is the Thomas. I'm gonna let him do a little roll so you guys see how he looks. Pretty good. But yeah, that is that one. Next up is my first ever one that I remember actually ever get. This is the Take and Play Lights and Sound Toby that actually still works. He actually, I actually had to take him apart recently and he still needs soldering done to him, but he actually still, I got him to actually work where he will, like, you push him around and he will literally still do his chuffing noises. It's kind of hard to hear, but he's also got his phrases.
I'm the number 7 Brown engine. Fast, high, purpose. Traveling tracks. Full steam ahead. Hello, I'm Toby. I'm the number 7 Brown engine.
So yeah, I'm not sure if that hurt it, but I will bring it up closer so you can kind of hear.
Fast, high, purpose. Traveling tracks. Full steam ahead. Hello, I'm Toby. I'm the number 7 Brown engine. Fast, high, purpose. Traveling tracks. Full steam ahead. Hello, I'm Toby.
So yeah, that's Toby. He's in pretty good shape. Got a little rough around there because, like I said, I've had him for a while. But he's still working condition, which is surprising to me. A couple of months ago, he was not working. Like, I got him to work, and then I found out that his black wire had corroded, and it pretty much broke off, and I couldn't get him. And then when I got it to work, he was like talking in low, like a slow motion, like battery dying sound effect. So it took me a while to get him to actually work again, but now I just barely set it there, and now he's working, so I have to just be careful with them. So I'm just gonna set him, like I said, in here, like, carefully, into here, this special case here. Mostly all this case that I'm using right now to display is like a very nice track, as you can see, but it's got some rolling stock in there, and we're going to go over that as well. But I just wanted to go over the trains. And then I have a standard Toby, as you can see, compare him to the regular, the Take and Play one. He's got, like I said, this is the only one I have that actually still has the original card that came with him. The rest of them technically Toby was my first one I ever got, and then someone gave me their Thomas, and eventually I just kept getting people giving me their trains because they knew I liked trains a lot. So people would always give me a different one every once in a while until I started buying some at the stores and resales places. But yeah, you can tell they look very nice. They look very similar in the vine. It just looks like this one. It looks like he's looking down more. This one looks like he's looking more straight up. Other than that, they're very nice. They're about the same pretty much everywhere else. Like I said, this one they actually engraved the hole, so I don't have to ever worry about the paint ever coming off, because these guys were just printed and I had to repaint them pretty much back on there every time, and I had to do that with his eyebrow there. And yeah, other than that, he is in great condition as well. Just a little scuffs here and there, but he's in pretty darn good shape, I would say, in my opinion. But that is Toby. And like I said, this is the Lights and Sound Toby from the Taken Place series that I think it was like a few years back. And then we have the 2002 Percy. This was the original Percy. I had to repaint him, some spots on him as well. You can see as a childhood I used to try to add windows to these things because I thought I was trying to make them more accurate to the show, I guess, which they just look alright. But like I said, he's got a little bit of thing. Now I do have a 2012 or 2009, I guess you could say, Percy, which is very, very similar. Like the faces look kind of similar in a way. Just this one looks just more faded because I've had this one for a long, long time. And then, like I said, this one I bought recently, and as you can see, the number 6 looks different from this 6. As you can tell, they're both very different in a ways. Both got some paint chips, of course. They need to refix these guys. I like this one because he's got the gold instead of the yellow, but I do like the yellow on this one as well. But yeah, they're both very cool. This one's the only one I think that actually still has his original eyebrows that has not faded off. That's what it used to look like, and that's my custom one, I guess you could say. But they're pretty much the same model. It's just they upgraded the paint on this one to that one, and did a different number 6 compared to that one. So there's not really much else to talk about these Percy's other than they're just a few difference apart. Alright, next up is Lady. This one I did not know existed, to be honest, and I was really happy to find it in my collection as well. She has got some scuffs, of course. She's got her name Lady on both sides. Like I said, she's in really good condition too, and I really like this. And it goes great with my Magic Roll-Up, which I love to do a reenactment of one of these things. Next up is Salty. This one I'm really excited because I got this guy really fast, and I was excited to have him in my collection. And he's in really good shape too, and I really like that about him. And there's nothing else. Like I said, Salty's one of my favorite diesels besides Mavis and Diesel 10. And like I said, he's like an old sea dog, and I love that, his sea tails. This is, I believe, is Paxton. He's from, I think, the newer seasons and stuff like that. But he's pretty nice. He's got, like, these design where it looks like he's got axle rods connected to the thing, but it doesn't really connect. But it's a really nice looking design for him. And he looks pretty good condition, other than, the face, a little, wear and tear from the aging. Here is Arthur. This is a really old one I've had for quite a while as well. And he's in really good, really got some scuffs here and there as well. And I like how they gave him, all his wheels are movable, which is really nice about him. And there's not much else to say, he's just a great guy. Next up is Coldy. Now this one I did not know existed in Taken Place. I have Coldy as a, Ertl model, but this is the first time I've ever seen him in Take and Play, and he's in really good condition compared to my Ertl, who is really scuffed up. And he's also got the guy in the back of this gun in an extra face. It's kind of weird that he has two faces. I don't know the story of this guy. I have to look him up more, but I thought he was interesting. But that is Coldy. I think he was in one of the narrow gauge engines as well. Next up is a one I had to completely repaint because it had turned, the paint had peeled off so bad that it literally turned to silver or gray, but now he is repainted and he looks fantastic. Now this guy I've had for a long time. You can tell by the face is yellowed very badly, which is shocking that his eyes are still white and his mouth looks like he's got some white in him, but the rest of him is just pretty much old age. And like I said, you can see where I had to repaint everything on him. Like you can still see some original paintwork. Right there was the W. I just went ahead and made it bigger, and then made a number 8 there. And like you could see where I tried to repaint it before, and I just repainted it recently, and it looks pretty good, I think, for a Take and Play. And like I said, it's not the original color. I'd love to get one in better condition than this, but this is the closest I'm going to have for my duck in the series. So I hope you like it. And like I said, I'm planning on trying to do a series with these trains later on as well. Here we go, Diesel 10. I have 3 models. I have this model, and I have 2 other models that are literally the same, but conditions wise, this is one's missing his pinchy, or his claw, his claw, aka pinchy. This one has a darker claw compared to these. This one, these two were the same models, and this one wasn't. But as you can see, the faces are very, very different and very old, and this one's starting to turn yellow like those two did. Yeah. But other than that, this one's probably the best condition one that I have of Diesel 10 compared to these two. This was my first one, and you can see the all gray that I was talking about that I had to repaint on duck. But I'd love to repaint this guy one of these days as well. Same with this guy. As you can see, you can see some of the silver coming on him as well. But yeah, other than that, he's a great figure. He still got his thing. Like I said, this one was broken when I got him, and I took my original wheels off of him and put them on this one to repaint him, or make him look better compared to the old one that was all messed up. So yeah, that's all I can say about those guys. They're very cool. I love the design of this one though a lot. And then I also have, this is Butch, who is a Take and Play as well. He's not magnetic like the other trains are, but his hook is metal, so it does like connect to the trains really easily to help him look like he's pulling them up. So he'll be an important character in your series. Alright, next up I have 2 of these characters. It's the same character but 2 different designs. But sadly, this one does not have the cold tender, and these both don't have the cold tender. This is Hero. I'd love to find the cold tender to go with these guys. Even if I have to share it for just one, I don't care if I have to make one just to make it share. But right now we have Hero, and then we have Patchwork Hero as well. And you can tell the faces are very, very similar, but more detail on Patchwork compared to this one. I think this is the 2009, and this is like the 2012, or yeah, this is the 2012 one. This is the 2009 model. So yeah, this was the last one for. This is the Mattel one. Yeah, like they're both Mattel, but I think this was right before Take and Play switched over, because this is the original model that they used for Hero. Like I said, I'd love to find I'd love to find his cold tender to go with Hero, because Hero is one of my favorite trains in the series. Alright, next up is, of course, we have Edward. He's pretty old, as you can tell. I've had him for like probably 10-15 years now, and like I said, I try to keep these guys in the best condition I can, but like I said, I can't always promise. But you can tell he is in really good condition for Edward. Next up is Henry. This one took me a while to get because it was harder to find Henry for some reason. But this is the original, like I said, 2002 or whatever it was. Yeah, 2002 model of Henry as well, which I really like this model of Henry. He's got really nice wheels as well. Alright, next up is, of course, I have duplicates of this guy. This is James. This is pretty much the 2002 model. And I have two models of this guy. And I also have the Mattel version of his Contender here. And I can kind of show you the difference between both of these. These have literally the same Contender, but as you can see, the 5 is different. Like, it was more of a gold color, and they changed that to that color. And the other model, you can tell that the print is more thinner, and this one's more thicker at the time. But yeah, that is James. And apparently they also had a variant of this where these, instead of black wheels, they were like gray instead of black in some variants, is what I was told as well. But yeah, I just thought I'd show those off as well, since there's not really much to talk about because they're James. I don't want to go into too much detail. Alright, here's the sad one. So this is Gordon, but he does not have his face at all. It was ripped off when I got it. But I tried to make, as a child, I tried to make him a face so he would be still Gordon. And of course, it's not in the best condition. But I was trying to make this a greatest moment of when the jam got all over Gordon's face and stuff, so it makes him look a little dirty. And that's the reason why, because the paint was literally chipping off, and I tried to put like pieces of tape to try to preserve it, which was a bad idea because it's literally just trying to because I literally taped this entire Tinder all the way around, as you can see, just trying to preserve what I had left of him. But I love to get a new one of this guy one of these days, and yeah, maybe one day we'll repaint this guy a darker blue. Who knows? I'll just have to work on that once I get the chance. But yeah, and of course his wheel is completely shattered. I don't know what happened to it. I used to have it, but I don't know what happened to the other half, because I remember I had glued this together, and now it's like completely gone forever. And you can tell the blue has really gone from dark blue to like this olive blue kind of color. It's just sad to see this guy in this condition, and I would love to get a new Take and Play Gordon, because I wanted to do a reenactment of this one. But like I said, I wanted to make a reenactment of Down the Mine with this Gordon and the Thomas that I have, but like I said, I don't know if I really want to use this model yet. But like, if you guys still want me to use this model with the Thomas for the thing, let me know. If not, I will just try to find a new copy of them. But I did at least repaint this top here, because this head went completely gray, and I just repainted that. But like I said, I'm gonna try to fix this and put yellow there to make it look like a 4 again instead of a black. I don't know why I just did black there. When I was a kid, I just draw over a lot of this stuff, and then like I said, he was so like messed up as it is, so I started drawing, like, make it look like grape jelly jam got all over him, because I was trying to make this Gordon and the jam, grape jam express or something like that. I don't know what I was calling it back then, but that's what I was trying to make it look like. Jam got all over Gordon in this one. I don't even know if that was an episode. I think it was Percy that got jam on him, or it might have been Gordon, I can't remember, but I don't know. I just try to make it look like that. So that is all the engines and vehicles that I own. So let's move on to the rolling stock. So this won't take very long, because I only a few. So I have McColl's Farm, which has the chicken eggs in it. I don't think they did anything other than that. It just says cargo car, and it just says egg. Yeah, it just says egg cargo car. But like I said, it's a McColl's Farm. Then I have the Chinese Dragon, of course, the only think it's supposed to like wiggle. I don't know if it wiggles when it rolls, but I know you can wiggle his like tail and he moves. Same with like that. I'm gonna show it on this side, sorry. But as you can see, that's what I have as the Chinese dragon from that episode as well. Then I have this Christmas caboose that went with Percy, but I do not have the Percy anymore. But he had like a Santa Claus hat, but this is his caboose that he came with. And then I have the Sodor Zoo animals, this is the monkey one. I think there was a lion as well. I'm not sure if there was any others done of these, but I just thought I'd show that as well, that I've had that for a while. And then I have my very first freight car that I always called, it's a troublesome truck, but I've always called this guy Rickety, because you would just like move him, and while you're moving, the truck will, as you can see right there, will lift up and move, so it like rocks up and down. I'm not sure if he was supposed to have coal inside him or not, but I found him like this, all messed up, and you know, he's still one of my favorites. And like I said, my best friend gave him to me, and he was technically my first rolling stock that I had. And then I have this, which is Sodor Orange Grove. It's a very big kind of flatbed, but it has this like button on top of here, and when you do it, that pretty much pops up. And I'm assuming there was like a barrel that was supposed to represent oranges that would flip out. That I do not have that, but if anyone knows where I can find that or get a replacement, maybe I'll just 3D print it, who knows. But yeah, that's what that does, and I'll show you on this side as well. Pretty cool cargo car. Alright, so that's it. So I also have one more broken engine to talk about. This is Bill, and all you can see is pretty much his wheels, and that's it. Everything else is gone. On this guy, he's pretty much screwed up. Yeah, you can see it says Bill on it. I was using him as a flatbed since he was broken, but I also use him as a ghost engine probably. And like I said, I have James's other contender that I showed you earlier. This is the Mattel one, and like I said, I'm looking for this model to go with that one again one of these days. Or maybe I'll just get one of the talking engine of him and just add that to it, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, that is all my take and play and take along comments. There's the case, like I said, there's the track. It folds up like that, and then like I said, I only have this piece of track and this female split track as well. So I would love to get more of these, or 3D print some of these. Who knows, maybe one day I will. But there is the engines, as you can see. This has been a very long video, but like I said, I wanted to do something special for the 80th this year of Thomas. And like I said, I have more engines in here from All Engines Go, Ertl, Subway, and a few other random toys of Thomas in here. If you guys want me to do a collection on my All Engines Go update, let me know. Like I said, I might even use these in the pilot episode or not, but I might use these for a different series as well. But I want to make a series for these magnet trains for my channel. One of these days, I'll just either do reenactments or something. I haven't really figured out what I want to do yet, but yeah, that is my take along slash trains, whatever you want to call them, collection that I have there. So there's a clear kind of picture so you can kind of see who all I have so far. And like I said, I think it's a great starter collection. I love to get more of these. I know there's tons out there, but like I said, I'll try to keep hunting for these when I get the chance. So have a great day, and bye.